So, welcome to the afternoon session or the early afternoon session. We have four very interesting lectures, all of them people that we already met at the ITA conferences in the past. First, we have Alfonso
González.
It's only now 13:30, so okay.
Yeah, we can start if you want.
Okay, so no problem. As I said, we have Alfonso González Bartolessis as the first speaker. He'll speak about artificial intelligence and innovation for localization and content creation. Alfonso is the founder of Translator, a trove with a huge treasure of webinars, courses, guides, etc. You are more than invited to check what you have there, even some freebies, right? If I'm correct. All kind of things about many aspects on the translation industry and in several languages. So you'll probably find something interesting for you. Alfonso is an expert on content producing. He has several master degrees on education, translation, and business management. Am I right? And
Right.
yet he has time for music and for family and for friends. So, Alfonso, you are my hero, really. Alfonso, the floor is yours. Remember, if you have questions, please write them in the chat. Keep your microphones muted. Alfonso.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the introduction. Thank you very much for having me here. Let me start sharing my screen, my presentation. I hope you can see it. Let me know if you can use reactions. That will be nice. So you can do something like thumbs up or something like that. Just for me to know. You can see it, right, Elisa? Can you confirm you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. So Elisa has introduced me more than perfectly well. So thank you very much for the introduction. Nothing else to say. Yeah, the most important things, of course, family. And then I'm also the localization manager at Sinch, which is a communications platform as a service. And then I'm the translator founder, and where yeah, you can find many courses on many different fields of specialty. I hope you find any of them interesting. If not, just let me know. We will work on finding or creating something that is of your interest, of course. Why am I here today? Well, I was here, Yuri reminded me that I was here 4 years ago, and 4 years ago I was talking about SEO and SEA localization, which is one of the fields or topics I love talking about, something that I like, something that is related to what I do every day. And at Sinch, as a localization manager, also a very close relationship with the content team. So SEO, we need to rank, we need to position our content high in search engines. Imagine how things are changing nowadays with AI. We are all going crazy. We don't know what to do to rank better in GPTs. Now people is changing from looking on Google, looking for information on Google, to looking for information on GPTs. So we need to react. We need to know how to rank in these new ways of searching. So as I was sharing with Elisa, this AI world has, I don't know, but I have the feeling that has caught us all by surprise a little bit. Suddenly, like 1-2 years ago, we started hearing about AI, and then we started getting impacted by AI. So I'm going to share with you my experience with AI as a localization manager and on the translator side. I would like first to ask you, how many of you use AI for translation, content creation, or project or localization management? And you can share your answers in the chat. I hope I can see the chat. Let me see. Here the chat. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do, says Isaac. I do to some extent. I do for non-confidential. Oh, that's very important. The ethics, the part about confidentiality. Becky says she doesn't. That's interesting. I mean, I wanted to some extent, says Aviva. I do sometimes, not always, for collocations, phrasing, adjectives, says Julian. I think more or less we all do. I mean, the different levels of use. Some of us have, as I will mention later, these AI tools integrated in our CAT tools. Some others we need to use it on a daily basis for this or that reason. But we will see, and I will again share my experience and how it has helped us, and yeah, how they are changing things. And next question is, how do you feel? And you can share also that in the chat. How do you feel about the use of AI for translation, content creation, or management? I mean, do you feel it like, is it a threat? Is it supporting you? Is it helping you? Is it stopping you? Is it taking your job? How do you feel about it? Do you feel that you have to use it? I love it. It's helpful, friendly. Okay, it helps. Takes a lot of the drudgery out. Indeed. If I am in a hurry. Okay, it is great to get information, indeed. Yeah. For summaries, for example, I have used it personally when big companies launch one of these reports with a lot of information. So I ask it to perform a summary or to extract the main points from that, and it's fantastic. Or I follow some people, for example, like Miguel Sepúlveda, who has the blog post. He's the globalization leader at King, which is a Microsoft company. And he has this blog post, Yo Localizo, so I follow him. And sometimes he publishes a lot of content. I don't have time to keep up pace with all that. So I asked ChatGPT, could you please summarize what are the most important points of his latest blog post? So it's helpful in many ways, as probably you are sharing here, helps me write anonymized sections of emails in Russian and even in Hebrew. I mean, this is fantastic. So let me start saying what it's or what I'm going to talk about. I mean, when we talk about AI, we are mainly referring here in localization to machine learning, so algorithms that improve performance based on data patterns, not natural language processing, so what is called as NLP, so AI that understands and generates human language, or generative AI, which is what we are actually, most of us at least, using nowadays, which is that AI that creates new content based on training data. You know, we have a lot of information about how these engines have been trained, and generative AI allows us for real-time adaptation, content creation, translation, localization. So this is a game changer. This is changing everything. This is impacting us all. And when I say us, I am part of the localization industry in many ways, but it's impacting everybody. I'm part of Sinch, a global company, 4,000 people, and it impacts not only my team, not only the localization team I lead, it impacts finance, it impacts legal, it impacts everybody. It's having an effect on everybody. Let's move on. Here. So I'm going to talk now about AI's growing role in enterprises, as I was introducing before. So going to show you, this is information from one of these reports I told you I use AI to summarize. So this is from CSA. And they share that 90% of global enterprises plan to leverage AI. 90%, okay? And this was like a few months ago that they released this report. So yeah, I mean, AI is being adopted rapidly across industries, okay? And translation and localization is no exception. Actually, probably one of those that are suffering or we are being more impacted. I don't want to use suffering. Then 47% see productivity as the leading benefit of generative AI. So I hope that is true. I mean, if we can improve productivity, if we can improve our performance, if we can improve our workflow, then thank you. Thank you, AI, for being there, okay? If it's in order just to replace us for cheaper products, for cheaper services, okay, that is going to happen. That is already happening as well, but then it's not that nice to have it, okay? There was someone, Philippe Mercier, who is the creator of WordScope, and he told me, Alfonso, it's not about human in the loop. It's about the machines in the loop. So we are in charge, and we should be the people should be those in charge of controlling everything. And we should never forget that, at least for the moment, we are in control. And when they say human in the loop, it should be the opposite. I mean, it's we are not helping the machines are helping us. So productivity is based on us. I mean, we are the ones that are driving that productivity. Let's not forget that. Let me talk now about my experience. When we talk about AI transforming translation, localization, and content creation, I'm showing you here some of the apps or solutions that I have used. These brands, probably you had not heard of them 2 years ago. Did you know? Now you know about Synthesia, HeyGen, ChatGPT, Captions, 11 Labs, Blackbird, the script, all those things that help us do our job. But probably 2 years ago, none of us were using them, or we didn't even know them. So I have used them for many different solutions, and I'm going to even, if it works, I'm going to show you some of them in action. So we have used them for SEA projects, for search engine advertising projects. So imagine we received a big project from one of our colleagues telling us, okay, so localization team, we need you to create, like, I don't remember now, 200 headings for these ads, 200 different headings, which is not even translation, because we need to adapt them for different markets, and it's very difficult. It's complicated. So we were supported by AI. We created a prompt. We asked, in this case, it was ChatGPT. We asked, can you create these headings for these ads? And can you help us rephrasing them and adapting them to our local markets? We needed a lot of human interaction, but it was good. I mean, we got something good with which it was the base, the foundation for what we wanted to do. We have used it a lot for audiovisual projects. And I have been working in the audiovisual industry for many years. So I can tell you this has helped us saving hundreds of hours and a lot of resources. So imagine before, if you needed to dub something into another language, you had to go through, well, you needed a script, you needed to timestamp that script, you needed to translate that script, you needed to send that to a studio, you needed the actors, the director. It was a long, complex process. Nowadays, everybody's telling you, okay, hurry up, Alfonso, we need these things for tomorrow. We have an event here or there. I said, wow, you want this in 2 days? Yeah, we need these videos in 2 days. Perfect. Then what I have to do is to deliver faster to my managers, and that's what I do. So there are solutions out there that allow us to, okay, now we can dub. We have tools that allow us to transcribe, to localize, and then to dub content, and that's what we have done. So the results are not perfect, to be honest, but are quite good, are usable. So for tools that you are paying $20 per month, before you had to pay like, I don't know, imagine if you order a studio to dub a 2-minute video, it could cost us perfectly like €600. And usually we will need to wait 1 week to have that. So we have reduced the time to, like, I'm not exaggerating, 30 minutes to do that. And again, the cost is €20. So when you present your manager those solutions, they go crazy. They go super happy. And oh, wow, that's what we wanted. And we want more of that. So what I had last year was my manager telling me, Alfonso, you have half the budget you had last year, the previous year. I said, oh my God, really? Oh, yes. And even more, you have one person less in your team. Oh, thank you very much. Super happy. Of course not. I was not happy. I was very angry at the situation. But I am a professional and I need to adapt, and I need to deliver what my managers want from me. So I did that. So I said, okay, what can I do to achieve what they are asking me for? They told me, Alfonso, look, we have a sprint. We need to launch Sinch.com on 4 languages. This is a new website and it needs to be ready in a month. I said, 1 month to deliver the global website of a company? I mean, that's, in my opinion, that was crazy, and it was crazy. But we did it, and it was thanks to AI. I mean, what we did was we were already doing machine translation for some projects, for support, for documentation, but we needed to apply AI translation, thanks to DeepL in this case, to all our projects and to the translation of marketing content. By doing that, we were able to deliver the localized website in 1 month. Was it perfect? No, not at all. Was it good? Yes, it was. Now we continue working on proofreading the content that we've created with AI, that we post-edited with humans. But what I want to bring here is that you need to adapt. And sometimes it's not even our decision. It's the decision comes from above. And I'm talking about a company. I work in a company in-house. And many of you probably work as freelancers, but you are going through the same process, because when we need to outsource to our LSPs providing services, that will come to you and they will say, look, this company needs this done in 2 days, not in 1 month as before. And you say, wow, then it's about post-editing, because we cannot translate, we cannot be super creative. So that's how we have used it. So we have used it for content creation. The content manager, Bea Redondo, she is an amazing manager. She created a custom GPT, trained it with our content, and now that GPT is able to help us creating drafts of content that, well, at least are at the basis for some of the pieces of content that we create. Now we are in a stage in which we have developed, or we are trying to develop, with some of the tools I have shown before, like Blackbird. We are developing let's say like a system by which we will be listening to what our competitors are publishing, and the GPT will be able to also create content based on what our competitors are doing. Why are we doing that? You may be wondering. Well, because our competitors, some of them, have more resources than we do to create content, and they publish content on a continuous basis. And we don't have very large teams. So we need to be able to increase the amount of content we publish to rank higher, to appear more on searches. And how do we achieve that? It's through AI. AI needs to help us. There will be humans, of course, because humans are the ones who decide, okay, this needs to be improved. We are going to add a paragraph here. We are going to remove this. We are going to do that. We are going to localize this. We are going to publish this. But I just wanted you to see how these things are working nowadays. AI is also, on the localization side, helping us streamlining workflows. And I'll give you an example. Thanks to this tool I was showing you before, Blackbird, we had two systems, two translation management systems in our company. It was not my decision, but our company acquired different companies, and one of them was already using a translation management system, which is localized, and we were using Smartling as a localization team. As you know, or you can imagine, these systems they do not talk to each other. There are no integrations because they do not want to share anything. So we needed to find a way to send the information we were getting from localized to Smartling, the system that the localization team was using. So we used Blackbear, and Blackbear integrated these two translation management systems. That helped us saving hundreds of hours, hundreds of people doing jobs like copy pasting, people in the middle. So again, this was thanks to AI. Okay. And then post-editing revision, what I was telling you, I mean, without AI, we would not have been able to localize our website and the apps and many things that we had to localize in 1 month for this big launch in September. So we needed to post-edit, to review content that was AI translated, and that helped us achieve our goals. And I don't know if you can listen to the sound. Let me stop the music. But these are some of the videos. I don't know if you can see them in action, but this is some of the things that we created. We created subtitles for audiovisual content. We have dubbed videos. So for marketing, for products, so different teams asking us to do different things. And we even created different types of subtitles. So as you can see, probably, I hope you can see it, we have let's say like the traditional subtitles, but we also offer the teams, hey, there are new ways to subtitle things, to use captions that are more attractive. They didn't like them, but those are things that we can provide our marketing teams with. Okay, there are now solutions in the market that otherwise would require editors or people who know more about audiovisual things than we localization people know. So I'm a translator at heart, and this is super helpful because now if I was a freelancer, my portfolio will be, okay, now I can do many more things for you. And this can be controversial, but I can offer also dubbing. I can also offer subtitling. I can post-edit the subtitles to look better. And probably you see it on these platforms like TikTok or YouTube, these vertical videos with these fancy captions that attract us, they catch our eye, and we read everything. So that's what companies want from us, and we have dubbed everything. And I don't know if you can see this guy here, Alfonso, moving. That's not real Alfonso, that's my avatar. So my boss told me, okay, Alfonso, you need to present the company what you have achieved to do. I said, okay, perfect, so I will do that, but I will do that in a different way. What you have there is Alfonso speaking Chinese, Alfonso speaking Swedish, Alfonso speaking English, and some other, German, of course. I speak some of these languages, but not to the extent that you could watch in that video. So what I did was to create a script, and I asked in this case it was with Synthesia, and I asked it, okay, now I want you to translate this. Then I double check everything was correct. And I told my company, look, I'm going to introduce you what I have been doing this year thanks to AI. So I presented them, and I talked to them in Chinese. I talked to them in Swedish because my company is a Swedish company. I talked to them in different languages. My manager was German, so I talked to him in German. And they were all delighted because they said, oh my God, what we can do with AI. And I said, yes. And this is just at a very low level. Imagine when you send a newsletter and you can talk directly to your customers in those languages. Directly, I mean, you can introduce a video, and now we can provide that video directly in the language of our customers. What we are talking is about a different era, an era of not even hyper-localization. We can even go farther than hyper-localization. I had the luck to attend a meeting, a session of one of the masters we are offering on TranslateStars, and Gabriel Fairman from Bureau Works was there, and he was saying the future probably lies in us being able to go beyond hyperlocalizing. Imagine you want to tell your customers, okay, we want to not only hyperlocalize this into Hebrew, but we want to hyperlocalize this in Hebrew, but for the people who are living in Tel Aviv, who are in the range of age from 18 to 25, because they have particular interests. And we also want to do that for the people who live in Jerusalem and for the age 30 to 50. Well, I say, oh my God, that's super interesting. And I had never thought of that. And AI can help us with that, yes. But AI doesn't know the lingo the younger generations are using. So who do they need? Us. So I think we have a bigger role than we ever thought about, but that role is going to change. I think we can provide services that we didn't even think about before, and that's where I think we need to stand, and I think we need to be the solution providers. We need to offer this new solution. Let me continue with the presentation. So AI literacy is essential for modern language professionals. So I know some of us are like reluctant to adopt AI, but I think we need to. I think this is something we need to do. We need to grow. We need to offer in our portfolio new solutions. And it's not just about translation. I was listening to Manuel Herranz from Pangeanic saying the other day that maybe in the future translators, we will be doing just maybe 10% of our work will be about translating, and the rest will be providing solutions like what I was telling you. Okay, you need this to be dubbed, you need this to be adapted to this range of people, or people in this range of age, or age range, sorry, or you need this or you need to streamline your workflow. We will be able to do that. So we need to adapt. I know that sometimes it's difficult. It's also very difficult for me, myself, I'm talking about my experience, to keep up with everything that is being released. So yeah, that's an important thing we need to do. So on the translator side, we launched this AI and Innovation for Localization master degree. We are launching the second edition in September because we observed that there was a need to do that. And we also have a localization management program, which also covers the needs that we believe translators or language professionals need to cover. Let's talk now about AI in translation and localization. So we have neural machine translation, which probably you know some examples are DeepL, Google Translate, or some open AI models. AI improves fluency and context adaptation in these cases. So this is neural machine translation that we can use nowadays. We also have AI-assisted translation tools. Probably you are using them. I was giving the example of Bureau Works. Bureau Works integrates AI in their CAT tool, so translators have it easier. But there are many other tools that are using, like Trados, MemoQ, SmartCat. They also offer these AI solutions. So the pros, of course, the speed. We can deliver more. We can reduce, or not we, but some people can reduce costs, scalable. I was telling you, we were asked to translate things in 1 month in 4 languages. We were able to do it. And probably in the future, if they request us to do more in more languages, we will be able to do that. So the challenges are contextual accuracy, the bias, as you know, that these tools are not 100% reliable yet, the post-editing requirements, also the cost reduction that impacts directly on translators, so that those, or the ethics, because we need to take into account, okay, where is the information coming from, how are we using, or how have these GPTs been trained. AI for content creation. I was giving you the example of what our content manager has done, creating a custom GPT that she trained with our own information. So in order for it to be able to create more content, or as an answer to what we listen from our competitors. So those are solutions, but you already have solutions in the market like this ready to use, like Jasper, Pseudowrite, ChatGPT, that you can create a blog post about this topic. It's usually when you read them, they all sound the same. So I would not post anything that is created by any of these tools directly without any human supervision. But I know companies do it because they don't have the resources, they don't have time, whatever the reason. Something that probably AI has done, in my opinion, is bringing a democratization to internationalization and globalization. So now any company in the world can publish content in any language, which is not good content. That doesn't mean that it's good content, but at least it allows them to get to anyone in the world. So audiovisual localization, I already showed you some examples. We use it. And even if we use a translation management system and CAT tool, SmartLink, which is our preferred one in this case, with AI tools, we are way faster than using the traditional TMS or CAT tools. Something that a TMS takes more time to do, like 2 or 3 hours, we can do in 10 minutes with AI tools. Why? Because for the TMS, we need to prepare the content, to be careful with how the strings are divided for subtitling, stuff like that slows us down. But with AI, it's very, very simple. You upload a video, you ask it to transcribe it, to localize it. Then, of course, you need to double check everything. But usually you get something that it's already good, not 100% good, but good enough. And what we need to have is ethical and creative considerations, okay? So how is that content created? Who has trained those GPTs? How they have been trained? How is that content going to be used? All these things that we need to ask ourselves, okay? Do we want to sell that? Do we want to say this has been AI produced? Or do we want to keep on saying that this has been created by you humans? I like to be honest, and if something has been created by a machine, I will say it. But in this case, I do not create the content myself. We are part just of the localizations, at least in the company I work for. For project management and localization management, we use AI a lot. I'm going to show you an image of, this is an image of Blackbird. Blackbird is this tool that allowed us to connect different systems and that allows us to for example, use it to measure how things are working. So we can create integrations that analyze how our blog posts are performing thanks to reading the information on Google Analytics, and then creating a report on a spreadsheet and then delivering it to us on a Slack. So that's fantastic. And there is no person in the middle reading all the information and extracting it and putting it on the spreadsheet. No, this is automated. So for these things, like for QA, consistency, automation, market adaptation to some degree, what I was saying before, or analytics, these tools are fantastic. Trust me, they have saved me and my team hundreds of hours, and with a limited budget, half we had the previous year. Otherwise, we wouldn't achieve something like that without AI. What are the future
5
trends?
more minutes, Alfonso.
Perfect. I'm finishing actually. What are the future trends and thank you and best practices? Well, AI's evolving role in the language industry. As I was saying before, Manuel Herranz from Pangianic was saying AI is becoming better and better, and that's a reality. And remember, if you have started, I was an early user of ChatGPT and AI, and I have seen how it has evolved faster than anything in the world that I have ever seen. And now it's creative. It's creative to the degree that you can ask to transcreate. Not all GPTs work the same way, and you won't get the same results. And it also depends on the prompt. There are a lot of conditions. But it is helpful. It's becoming more helpful. So what's our role there? Well, we need to stay competitive. How are we competitive? Adopting new skills that we didn't have before. So these skills, meaning like, okay, if before we were offering, let's say like just text translation, now we know we can offer audiovisual translation. Now we know we can offer dubbing. Now we know that we can streamline workflows. Those are the things we need to adopt, in my opinion, of course, and to offer these companies, project management solutions, all these things that they didn't even know they could achieve thanks to us. And of course, we play a very important role in this thing that I was telling you about, hyper-localizing content. But not only hyper-localizing, it's making it sound local for age range of people in Madrid compared to people in Barcelona or Tel Aviv. That's what we need to achieve, to make people see. And as a conclusion and call to action, what I was saying at the beginning, AI is a tool, not a replacement, not a human replacement. So AI should not, we should not say human in the loop, but the machine in the loop. So we are there in control. I think we should be afraid if when that changes completely. But we are in control of the machines, at least for the moment. So let's change how we present things. It's not human in the loop, it's machines in the loop. We are in control. My recommendation, let's embrace AI. Let's embrace AI. Let's learn. Let's see how it can be beneficial for us. This Gabriel Ferman was saying, what do you prefer? To work 8 hours with hard conditions and having to work like it's more difficult, or with AI having the same, for example, the same project done in 2 hours and then having more time for other projects and making things easier? Well, I embrace that, his proposal. And then explore AI tools. Nowadays, there are AI tools, for almost everything. It could be for project management, it could be for translation, it could be for almost anything you can think of. So explore it, explore the solutions out there, because there may be something that is for you, and embrace it and try to use it, test it. That's what I do on a constantly basis, and use it for your purposes, and make it do the typical manual stuff that you don't want to do for you. Okay, it's not about replacing you, but it's replacing you for ironing, for watering the plants, and maybe things that you don't enjoy doing that much. That's where we should have a machine, in my opinion, but not for replacing us in being with our families or spending quality time. And that's the end of my presentation. So thank you very much, everybody. And now it's your time, if you have any questions. So let me
Yes. Thank you so much, Alfonso, for really enlightening lecture on the subject. There is one question that I think you answered towards the end. Gillian says, to be able to sustain quality assurance on so many kinds of projects with artificial intelligence, will the individual translator be pushed out of the market?
If we continue doing the same, probably yes. I mean, if we are just translators, let's say, yeah, I mean, it's not that they are going to push us out of the market, but they will say, okay, now I can get that 10 times faster with a machine, so I just need you to possess it. Okay.
My comment was that even if we learn a lot of these different new skills and how the software, the apps can help us do this, we just cannot possibly take on the big projects for the big market on an individual scale. And we therefore need to rethink the way we work as translators by creating a working network or team in order to take on these jobs, because your description was just vast, enormous.
please stick to the written questions on the chat. There's before you answer to Gila, there's also a comment by Becky. I think that individual translators need to focus on particular niches where they have some sort of competitive advantage, and also stress the importance of trust and relationships with clients.
Yeah, indeed. I agree with you. And I think this is related to what Gila was saying. I mean, of course, let's keep on networking. Let's keep on finding these niches that you are mentioning, Becky. For example, I was talking to Ekaterina Chasnikova. She created courses for translators on pharmacy translation, on medical translation. And she was emphasizing the fact that it's very difficult for pharma companies to just rely on GPTs because actually it's illegal. So they need human translators. They need someone who provides them with the translator. So that's a very good place to go. Pharma industry, they need a human for everything. Probably they will use AI for their translations, but still they need a human. So, and there are other niches, as I was saying, marketing translation. I mean, you can ask ChatGPT to do something for marketing, it's going to be okay, but it's not going to be 100% good. And the creativity that a translator or a human can have, that's something I have not seen yet in a machine. I'm going to give you an example. I use ChatGPT a lot for translators to create the social media post, the text you can read on social media to present some of our courses. And it's boring. It's always the same. I promise you, it always says the same. It's, are you ready to boost your career? That's the always, when I ask it to create something, it's always, are you ready to boost your career? I say, come on. It's always the same. But you go to Gemini, you go to Claude, and it's exactly the same. So they have all been trained with the same stuff. So they deliver the same thing. And we are all individuals. We are all different with our backgrounds. And that's where richness comes from. So we need to also market and sell that difference. If you want something that truly attracts people, I would use a human. I know companies, they are pushing me to reduce, to lower my budget and things like that on an everyday basis, removing people from my team. So companies, they just want to see their money, but we can give them money and we can tell them, look, with us, you will be able to translate into more languages. And we know what we are talking about because we know if this is correctly translated or not, or we can adapt the content to, before we were talking to just like a general audience, but thanks to us, we can tailor this to Gen Z, to boomers, to everybody. So we can offer more than we are currently offering.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alfonso. Just one comment. Yes, we are all individuals. For those who know the reference. And you mentioned the ethical issues. You are committed next year to speak about the ethical and the copyright that you didn't mention.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very important part because you know that when DeepSeek arrived, all the companies, all the AI companies started saying, look, they have trained their model without considering who's the content. And I said, and you have done exactly the same. You went to all the things that were available online. You used them without asking anyone for permission. And look, they have trained their models thanks to us. We have translated many things. They have trained their models, so they need us.
Right, but now we need to move to the next lecture. And again, Alfonso, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.